Emotional triggers, if you're not careful, can interfere with how you set your goals. And thus it's important that we keep ourselves centered and know what we're fighting for. Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrix, and this episode is called Emotional Triggering and Your Goals on Empower Your Pattern 2.0. Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrix, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Success, Confidence, and Thrive Coach. I wish to let you know that there are patterns to help you receive more, help you live a better and extraordinary life right now. I also believe that there are spiritual and temporal tips to help you overcome the adversities in everyday life. So if you come with me, I will show you these patterns. Get ready. Let's go. We'll be back to talk about how to handle goal setting and working on your goals when you've been emotionally triggered. But first, a word from one of our sponsors. Take it away, JR.
Hey everybody, J.R. Hendrix here. I want to talk to you about a service that can save you money. I'm talking about Flash Mobile. There's some good plans anywhere between $32 and about $75 per line. Unlimited talk, text, and data. To find out more details, get with your local ACN distributor. And God bless y'all. The James A. Hendrix School of Leadership and Flash Mobile forever.
Okay, if you want to know more about my partnership with Flash Mobile, I'm going to do my best in the show notes of this episode to give you the link to my website at some point. All right, now, emotional triggers and goal setting. I've done plenty of literature reviews on those, and guess what? Nobody that I know of is covering those two together. Well, I think they should be. And I'll tell you why. Some of us, including myself, come from dysfunctional family backgrounds. And, it's through no fault, I'm not blasting my family. I love them instead. But there's times that you and I may get triggered. It happened to me a couple of days ago. Now, I'm not going to go into the particulars of what happened, because that's immaterial to this podcast. Something like that I'm not inclined to tell all about. And many of you know why. I've told you off and on throughout my show years, I am what's known as a mystic empath. Okay? And so I'm going to give you 6 principles, and I hope you take notes on this because this is important. This first one is a doozy. It's hard, but we have to try to do this. Absolutely do not take this personal. It's easy to want to. Because a lot of emotional triggering is centered around guilt trips and the like. And it could be somebody that's well-meaning in the family. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you get triggered, and it's the same old subject, a dead horse, you just kind of want to get angry and say, "Not again." Okay, but do your best not to take it personal. Okay? And if you know it's someone that you deeply love, but they're enabling people at the same time that they're triggering you, what you've got to do is set an internal boundary and say, hey, I'll do what needs to be done for you, but I can only go so far. And sometimes that may mean, I don't normally recommend that you do this all the time. Sometimes it may mean that you have to be a little bit devious. Like I said, I don't recommend this all the time. But the times that you know that this is getting in your space of what you want to accomplish, okay? But do not take it personally. I know. It stinks. It's hard. It's kind of like, man, what the heck are you talking about? But the fact of the matter is, there are other things to focus on. Number 2, and this is something my ministering sister said to me recently. Be focused on looking at your goals daily. Of course, some of my ideas on goal setting is a lot different than, say, what might be mentioned in church. Not that spirituality doesn't figure in there. But the majority of goal setting ideas in the church, I feel, are geared towards people that want to go towards maybe middle class and mediocre thinking. I'm not saying anything to mock that or to mock people like that, but if you're listening to and subscribing to Empower Your Pattern, you remember Pattern Realm, right? Well, then you don't want, you want more. You want to live an extraordinary life right now. Well, part of having an extraordinary life right now is to keep mindful of those goals. Maybe even looking at your vision board daily. Because if you're listening to Empower Your Pattern 2.0, and you remember Pattern Realm, you have goals beyond what the average Joe Schmo, nothing against them, can't even think about. Which is like I was having dessert with some friends from church this past Sunday. And one of them was obviously, not from Texas. He said, I've never even heard of a 2-story double wide trailer. Is that even possible? Well, obviously it is, or they wouldn't have pictures or something like that. Something like that on the internet. The thing is, you need to be mindful of your goals every day, okay? That's just important. Regardless, okay? Because if you're being mindful and doing your best to look at your goals every day, then, and I need to be more focused on this too. Because if not, it's easy for you to get knocked down. Number 3, Christ should be the center of your goals. Okay, there's some podcasts I have where, the topic isn't necessarily of my faith. My friend and potential business partner, well, I'm going to go ahead and say business partner, Rob, he is a different faith of mine. And so he's going to have his different interpretation, as you saw in episode EA 47. But Christ should be the center. And you're like, how? Well, let me ask you this. Are you reading your scriptures daily? Are you listening to faith-building messages every morning? Because those are the first things that you need to be listening to every morning. And Christ can give you fuel. And you know it. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the Lord Jesus Christ and His strength, and I'll be honest with you, I've been battling loneliness. And the theologian David A. Bednar challenged people that feel that to get into reading the Book of Mormon and to look at things about the strength of the Lord. And another challenge I've had is this month in the New Testament, I'm reading the Gospel of Mark. And it's like the Spirit is challenging me to look for miracles in the chapter of Mark and to follow the admonition of, who I believe is a living prophet, who told us, I think it was a couple of years ago, that we should be looking for miracles in our everyday life. And that's why Christ should be the center of our goal, you know? That is just important for you to begin to see. Okay? Because it can be easy to be knocked off kilter and knocked off center if we're not doing the best we can to center ourselves in Christ. I have to admit, when I was triggered, I lost my center. I lost my focus. And going to church Sunday, partaking of the sacrament, renewing my covenants, and then having some dessert with some friends in church, and getting the feel of how much the Lord cares about me and loves me, then that makes all the difference in the world, right? That makes all the difference in the world. And then this next part, I'm going to tell you something. It's hard and easy at the same time, okay? But make sure that Christ is the center of your goals first, before you reach for this fourth part, okay? Because it's important for you to begin to do this. Okay, number 4. Ditch reactivity at the door. There's one thing I do when I feel like things in the world are getting too reactive. There's times that I unplug from technology. Just unplug. Take a nap. Go out to lunch with a friend without my phone. And to be honest with you, I'll be honest, I love my family. I love my family. But the thing is this. Unlike them, I don't like being tethered to my phone for 24/7. And the reason why is it can be easy to want to be tethered to a device or something. But if you're not out there crushing it, or developing ideas for content, or whatever it is that your business is calling you to do, in accordance to your goals, and you're just reacting to everybody else, what's it going to do? And I have to be honest with you, okay? Once I have come to the realization, it's on the way back from church, came to the realization that I had to ditch the reactivity out the door. I realized what the triggering had done to me, that it caused intense depression and anxiety. I got hot. And I thought to myself, Jimmy, what the heck is wrong with you? You promised your friend Connie that you would give this ACN business everything you got. And now guess what? You've been triggered. You need to resolve, but it never hits at that level again. And it was like I was screaming inside my spirit, screaming inside my body. I want to be filthy rich and leave these people triggering me in the dust. And sometimes somebody that's triggering you, you can love them, but sometimes where there's triggers, you need to leave them in it. You need to have some kind of distance for a while. I'm not saying that you don't love them and stuff like that, but if you know it's the same old reactivity, the same old reactive crap every day, listen to me, don't put up with that. Ditch it, okay? Jim Rohn says, either you will rule the day, or the day will rule you. Don't let the day rule you by people that have an axe to grind and do nothing but drama to really hit you like that. Okay, so you got triggered. That's when you got to ditch some of that reactivity at the door. Be around more positive people. That's something my ministering sister recommended yesterday. Being around more positive people. Because if you are goal-oriented, you can't sit there and continue to tolerate dysfunction and drama. When you got places to go, people to see, you know. Okay, so number 5. Expect the best out of yourself. Okay? If you can keep your goals in front of you, and sometimes, go back and modify them a little bit. But do what you gotta do to crush it. Expect the best out of yourself. Give it all. Do you remember I keep mentioning the good ship's success? Climb on board. Climb on board with me. You need to expect the best out of yourself, right? So climb on board with me. Let's get strapped in. Let's get relaunched. Okay, so you're strapped in. You're expecting the best out of yourself, right? All right. Now, I'm closing the hatch. I'm closing the door. We're all sitting here. We're friends here. We're on this journey. Right? We have nothing but the best expectations out of ourselves. And this time we resolved that we're never going to allow ourselves to be keyed up by people who have reactive personalities. Okay? You cannot play games anymore with your goals and your businesses. You just can't. You can't play games with stupidity. If you got people in your life that are dysfunctional and are not going places, I hate to say this, maybe it's time to leave them behind for the most part for a while. It's like what I say at the end of every episode. You do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And then you do what others won't so you can have what others can't. The things that others won't do and the things that others can't have. Why is that? Because others are too busy. Oh, I'm tethered to my device. And blankety blank to people who don't like it. Oh, just sit there and chill Netflix. I don't want to hear about hustle and flow. I don't want to hustle and flow. You've got to leave those people behind and become all you can become. All right? Because the vast majority of our culture goes into that. They're tethered to a screen. And I'll be honest with you, living alone, I love me some screen time sometimes. I need some psychological stimulation to keep from going nuts, right? But sometimes it helps to unplug from that and get some serious social interaction. We're losing that art. I've been saying this since COVID. We're losing that art. And that's why I'm grateful for companies like ACN. In fact, I wanted to shout the housetops about it. So, you there? Are you? Okay, there we go. Okay. Number six. Forget about the situation that triggered it. Okay, remember the lessons that it's taught you. Yes. I think you should remember the lessons that it's taught you. The one thing that it's taught me is that if people are going to be dysfunctional and don't believe in informing people who are not dysfunctional and well adjusted what they're doing, then, well, I hate to say it, you have to do what you can to forget what's triggering you. Yes, get it out, write it out. That's what my CAP method criticality coaching is for. Okay, because you've got to be able to forget about it. And it's not easy. But you're going to have to do that. Instead, let that trigger be fuel to the fire saying, alright, you guys are making me mad. Oh no, Jared's coming out. You guys are making me mad. I'll show you I can succeed. You can't keep me down forever. You can't keep me down forever. And that's just how it is. You got people that are dysfunctional and triggering you. Let me tell you something, buddy. It's time to move on. You can love them people to death, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to sit there and put up with a bunch of reactive crap. You don't. Because if Christ is the center of your goals, and you adhere to the rest of the stuff we talked about here, then you got it. You can't lose. Now with that, I hope you enjoy watching Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of Pattern Realms. And until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can have what others can't. Please share this with Mama Son, Papa Son, and everyone. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless each and every single one of you. God bless you.